anything, fire up you a blunt. If you got some drink, pour you a cup. Cause I'm finna pour you a cup. It's called Saunders. Welcome to my world. Okay? Let's ride. Fallout. Fallout who? Well, I told them that if they turn against me, I'm gonna kill them. What you tell them, I told that hoe. If she ain't show me she was real. I'm gonna fuck all friends. I ain't lying. Bitch. Yeah. Whoever thought that I would really be here? Took my money.
Kev, we're back, dude.
Yo, I'm fucking happy to be back.
Been a week. Took a while off, so we got a lot to talk about, but we got a really cool guest going. We got our good buddy, fraternity brother, I should say, Noah Saunders, music major, right? But
oh yeah, music industry.
He disagrees with me and Kev on one big thing, but we'll get to that.
Hey.
Noah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Working, sleeping, smoking.
Nerd, I'm fucking happy to have you here, bro. I'm glad you're on the podcast.
I'm happy to be here. This is fun.
You're our second ever guest.
Second guest ever. Listen, if I could videotape half the conversations we've had, it would be worth 1 million podcasts. So
probably better than this podcast.
I'm happy we can have one right here, right now.
Yeah, one day we'll set the mic up at 3 a.m. and let it roll.
Yeah.
That's the real podcast.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna dive right in. So Noah, I agree with Noah on a lot of takes. I think Kevin does too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But our listeners who there's like none right now, but our listeners know that me and Kev love Drake. How do you feel about Drake, Noah?
I just don't. I think I think Drake is mid. I just don't see the appeal. It's cute, like party club music, whatever, going out.
That's like
ready.
Your music,
but it's not.
It's made for you, man.
That's like what you love.
It's not good to like. I'm not gonna sit in my bed and listen to Drake.
Passion Fruit
not
comes on. You're telling me you're laying in bed and you hear Passion Fruit on the shuffle. You're not going to give a little shoulder.
I shoot up. My head goes off the pillow.
If I'm like on the beach drinking, maybe I'll get a little spicy with it. But otherwise, no,
I'll take that.
I really Passion Fruit. No. It's cute. It's nice. It's a nice little vibe to it. But at the end of the day, what's the best part of that song is probably the beat, and I don't.
Everything's the best.
I don't think it's cute.
Hold on. I'm gonna start this motherfucker record over again.
It sounds just like it. Hold on.
I gotta start this motherfucker record over.
My brain when I was like 16, 17, like when it was new and it was fresh, it was all right. But
all right, I will say, dude, I do have a huge predetermined bias because I listened to Drake when I was from junior year all the way until I was in college.
Earlier, like 17.
Yeah,
I loved Take Care Drake. I loved, especially like when he started with having the Weeknd producing, and
he kind of put the Weeknd.
He put the Weeknd on, but
Toronto. He put the Weeknd.
Put him on.
Skyrocketed him into mainstream. I'll give him credit where it's due.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I will also say I think The Weeknd has a very, very keen knack for just getting people to like grow artistically, which is the part of Drake that I think lacks. And I think the way
I will agree with that 100%.
Designed Take Care alongside everybody, I think that really helped to mold,
I'll agree 100%. Dude, all right, so my thing on The Weeknd, though, is that for the first, 4 years of his career, he never showed his face. All right, and that was an artistic play that
That's kind of savage.
He put that into place, so every album he had, you wouldn't see his face on the cover. You'd see a reflection off of a mirror, right? So for the first 4 years, he strategically placed an artistic underlying underneath his albums and how he created music. Right. So I'll attest to that. And I've heard that The Weeknd is like gifted in that sense. So I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think that, and I think, the not really showing your face thing, that's not like an original idea by any means when you're talking
Right.
about like 2009, 2010, 2011. Like, people have been wearing helmets and masks and not
Yeah.
That's
going
true. I forgot
public,
about
and
that
still
phase.
now people do that. Yeah, like you got to think Daft Punk started wearing helmets,
I
in
thought of
the
them
90s.
immediately.
I fucking love
Yeah.
Daft Punk, bro.
So that's
I
like,
fucking love
that's
Daft Punk.
been like kind of, and I'm sure people have done that even like earlier that I'm just not, off the top of my head, but not, I just think the way Drake, I think he's a good businessman. I think he's got a decent pen, but like, I don't think,
Oh man.
I don't
I
think
get
there's
visibly
not,
hurt from these.
I just don't think like there's at least like 50 other people that can,
50.
I think there are. You
Trying to
gotta
get
think
better.
though. You gotta think though too. Like if you watch,
Uh.
like, not that anybody really pays attention to them anymore, but if you watch like those singing shows or the
okay.
that whatever that rap one was that they did with Chance and Cardi B on Netflix,
I didn't
Rhythm
watch
Flow. But you gotta think there are so many people that are just so good at singing, rapping, producing, stuff like that. And they never get their break. They don't try hard enough. They're talented. They just have no desire to be famous. So like, I think Drake was, he grew up being a creative kid. Yeah, he knows the industry from he was on Degrassi how long ago doing whatever he was. So it's not like
shot
he
in
knew
the
We
back.
need to watch that shit. We need to watch that shit, man.
Yeah, you watched him get shot, and you watched him.
We've had this conversation in 8
Every single one.
We always go, we watched that dude in Degrassi. That guy
He got shot in the back.
That's fucking wild to think about, though, that now he's doing shit like this.
Yeah.
So
I think it goes to show more that he's not necessarily the most musically gifted, but he knows how to market himself.
My thing is,
Yeah.
I feel like Drake doesn't try to be just a rapper. Like he likes being like a little like Ray J dude. He likes being like Nelly.
Yes. Dude, he loves filming. He loves doing episodes. So like
That's what he grew up doing. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm not.
His music videos are always.
He loves acting. He owns part of the Raptors. Like that's crazy.
No, I will never forget. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Josh.
No, you're good.
But when he dropped the song with Future, that dude, I'm losing it. Life is Good, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching that music video the night that it dropped. I've never been more hype about a music video in my life than when I was watching that. Drake and Future at a fast food restaurant. All right, those are the definitions of it. You have to say Drake is the greatest producer, music producer, artist.
Whoa.
He's the GOAT overall. I have to say it, bro.
I'd say he is definitely. You can't really deny that he's number one in the hip hop game.
I won't say he's the best rapper or
overall. Like,
well, obviously, I can't argue with numbers, and like nobody.
But wait,
in any genre in almost any time period has any done numbers like Drake. So it's hard. It's hard to like. I can't argue that point.
I want to argue a little bit though. Like you said, he's a decent penman. Like I want to, because I feel like we're acting like Drake is the mid. Like we're talking like we're like, well, he's a good businessman. He's a good this. Like no, that dude has put out album after album filled with not only hits but like songs that you can go into your feels to. Songs that you can get hyped to at a pregame. Like I feel like every album's like relatively versatile. He's got good features, but then he has songs by himself where he just like lets out everything he's pissed about.
I think here's the thing. Okay, so if you want to take, so let's take Kanye for example, right? So you take Kanye's discography and you're gonna take Drake's discography, right? If you go album by album, right, you can tell. Okay, this is that era they're in. This is the 808s era versus the Take Care era. This is, the fucking More Life
if
era.
You're reading this is too late.
This is, yeah, like you can, but you can do that with Kanye, easy money. You know exactly what song came from what album. They're all designed very specifically.
Yeah, Drake's you can
they're
mix
all
and match,
beautiful.
bro.
Drake's. All his good songs sound the same. All his sad songs sound the same. All his bangers sound the same. There's no point where it's like, For example,
I can see the
he
point. I
dropped Care
also
Package onto streaming services, right? You
Hey.
can guarantee
Whoa.
most normal. Wait. You can guarantee most people that aren't huge Drake fans and don't dig that deep probably thought all those songs were like recorded this
Right.
year,
yes,
last year.
all right,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
agree with that.
But
You
I
can't
agree.
even
also-
tell that they're from 6-7 years ago. You can't
They're-
even tell
dude,
it's a compilation
alright,
album of just
listen,
random shit.
no.
It's
Timeless.
Just,
That's
just
called
Drake.
being timeless.
That was also
I think
a
it's
huge
called
night.
you have a formula and it's set and it works and why credit to you, don't change what's not
He's trying to
don't
make
fix
money.
what's not
Some
broken.
call it formula. Some call it timeless.
He was trying to
I-
make money, and what you're saying is he put all of his old songs that everybody illegally streamed. He just put them on a streaming service to make money.
And you can
And it
bear-
works
you
so
can't,
well.
and you just
It works
can't
fucking
tell
great.
you
I
can't
listen to it every
tell
day.
like what's you can't tell if it's from 2012 or 2018 because it just sounds like
It sounds great.
Drake, which is like, okay, cool. It might be timeless right now because it's a sound that's working right now,
Yeah.
but it's not. If
How can
what's
you
a
call that
good
mid,
sound,
though?
if it's what a good sound is changes in 30 years from now, then every single Drake song is off the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love
Because they're
Kanye's
all
music.
just Drake
I do too.
songs.
I
will
love
say,
Kanye's music. I
I'm-
love Drake's music. I don't want to compare them. The thing I want to say though is like, I feel like that's so disrespectful to call Drake mid, and I feel like it's pretty inaccurate. Like even people that don't like Drake, calling him mid, like
You gotta
there's
think that
mid,
too, a lot
like-
of his big songs, like think about how hard of a time Drake is having right now. Normally Drake is always got like 3 spots in the top 10 by
Who's he
halfway,
competing with?
like
he doesn't have
8
an album right now already.
Who's he
but
competing
he's
with?
not because he
Roddy
nobody-
Ricch?
Nobody's going to clubs. Nobody's going to bar. He just got blocked by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. He just didn't get number 1 because of WAP.
Who?
Okay, but that's also
Drake.
Drake.
What
He
song?
just
Laugh now, cry later, which is
it
I love
never
that song.
hit number 1 because WAP was sitting at number 1.
Okay, but this shows how good Drake is.
If there's no
you
clubs,
call
no
Drake
bars,
mid.
no party,
I
You
then
call
call
nobody's
that-
Drake
listening-
mid. Wait,
nobody's
wait.
listening to
Hold
Drake
up,
that's
hold
giving
up.
him credit for
Hold-
numbers. So now he's not doing
hold up,
numbers, and his numbers
hold up.
still just.
I
and his
have started
music's
this
at his hand.
motherfucking record over.
Y'all get more drinks going on. I'll sound a whole lot
I
better.
sound a whole lot better.
All right, but
So
wait.
even
listen.
he knows that he sounds better when people are just not actually paying attention. So he knows it too. So
Most people
just
skip
be
that part.
self-aware.
Hey,
I don't.
skip over the next 2 minutes. All right.
But wait,
we're gonna try.
You called Drake mid, but then you said he just got beat at number 1 and got number 2. That's like I feel like that's the standard Drake set for himself now. When he's literally not number 1,
Ooh.
people like to take him down. But like, what is he? Number 2, number 3, and like
Well,
that's
I'm
single.
Well, I'm saying it just
So he has the
doesn't.
LeBron
If
effect.
he's not even getting if he's not doing his numbers, he's not releasing music because he knows he's not doing numbers. So now I'm further questioning your integrity as an artist because, okay, so now are you only putting shit out to make money and do numbers, or are you putting shit out because you think it's good and it's gonna do something for people? You got something to say. You got something
Maybe
to
it's
do.
hard. It's hard for us to say that Drake. He hit it big, right? From a young age, he knew what he was doing. So
He was on
now,
top for a minute.
now that he's done what he needed to do, he's just like kind of just floating
Well, yeah, he's
at
got
the
a
top.
kid now. Like I feel
Where
like
he's
a lot of
floating at the
people-
top. Hey, dude, he's almost 35 years old.
He's not young, going to clubs, going wild tours. He hit that, but he did that. Like he lived that
Dude,
life.
When he
Yeah, but there's a point
when
where you
he
could like pull a
He
Rihanna.
hosted the Emmy or the ESPYs. Sorry, the ESPYs, right? And that's the sports. That's the sports
Yeah,
awards at the end
sports,
of
yeah.
the year. That generated so many views because of how just perfect he was to being able to speak to the people that were at the event. Like his jokes were on. So not only
He's good at that stuff for sure.
I'm just saying, like, attesting to his lyrical and album writing ability. That may not be the best of the best, or the top of the top tier. His all around game with entertainment is just like through the roof.
But that's why I think there's a point where you can just put out good art if you
Right.
want to call yourself a good artist, and then explore those other avenues. That's why I think like Rihanna
now's
dropped
the time-
Anti 4 years ago, and it was a beautiful album, like for like for its standard, for its genre, even though it kind of bends through a lot, it's a perfect album. Bowed Out hasn't put out literally other than like with 2 random singles since then, with just on somebody else's track, and then has further explored, you know, having the clothing line, having
So
the
you think it's
skincare
time?
line, having the
You think
makeup
it's
line.
time
So
for Drake to do that?
I think there's a point when eventually, like, if your artistry has kind of capped, you know, stopped putting out shit for the sake of putting out shit. You already got enough money. You already got enough records. You already got enough numbers.
I don't
Kind of,
know.
and you know he wants to explore those avenues. You know he wants to explore other creative outlets because he had previously done so.
Who's going to take over
so why
for
not
Drake?
go back to that?
Who's going to take over for Drake? There's no spot at the top that can't be filled.
I personally
Too many people want him
the
to keep
next
releasing
Drake
music.
is Travis Scott.
No, bro.
Okay, I love
Not
Travis.
that I want him to be, but you got to think there's not going to be somebody that replaces Drake. You got to think somewhere along the lines of, okay, so you had 50 Cent, you had gangster rap, right? Then Kanye's like, oh, fuck you, I'm done with that sound. So now here's Kanye. Kanye ushers in his little sound cute. All right, now we got Kanye. Oh, here's Lil Wayne's gonna really pop off and really put Kanye under.
And
who
Drake.
brings Wheezy, but
and
Drake,
then YMCMB, and then you got Nicki,
and then that's what I'm saying. So to see another Drake, I don't think would just necessarily happen, because just over the course of time, whatever the most popular rap subgenre hasn't really been consistent necessarily. It's gone through its own cycle of eras. So I think the next big era is kind of that like psychedelic rap, which Travis is definitely on top of that game right now. I can't think of anybody else that does that sound and does numbers like Travis. So I don't think the next Drake is going to emulate Drake's sound in any way, because there are already so many copycat Drakes. So I think the next Drake is going to be something completely like out of the wheelhouse.
So are there new rappers coming into the game right now, right? Is there a new XXL class?
Yeah, that was a
dropout.
There's one artist on there that I think, like, we're talking, I'm not saying next Drake, but he kind of already has blown up. But I think 24K Golden, not really sure exactly how you say it. I'm a super fan, but I don't really know how he wants it. I think that he's gonna, like, with this younger generation, take over the college rave party sound. Like, he already kind of has. I feel like he's already got 4 bangers that just get played at every party.
I think what he does really well, especially when you dive like really far into his discography.
He's been doing it for a while.
Especially going back to the following up on like Drake's influence thing, is this kid can put out some like, you know, like club bangers, some good radio songs, but then you really look into it and he puts out like a decent amount of kind of like I don't want to say like alternative rock. I don't know, because it's a very weird like genre bend for me. But it's somewhere in that blend of rock and rap that's really cool right now.
He likes
and
like
he puts out a lot of
chorus.
That. I was gonna say he does a little screaming, a little singing.
He likes
I've heard him with just nothing but an acoustic guitar. Like I've seen him kind of go down a lot of different experimentation. So I'm definitely excited to see what keeps coming from him, because left and right I keep seeing his name. You know, I see him with Ian Dior.
He's fire too.
I had a little phase where I was like, I don't get it. I don't get the hype.
He's very like his generation, I'll say that.
Yeah, like he came out, he hopped right on the scene, and I was like, this kid's good. And then he put out a couple songs, and I was like, kind of all just sounds the same. It's like, whatever, good job. He probably made the beat in 15 minutes and put just six different verses on it and called it a night. But then the last project he put out,
dropped out of college.
I actually.
Oh wait, no, sorry, we're talking about Ian Dior.
Yeah, for Ian Dior, I really enjoyed just that blend of just rock and rap. I feel like I've never I mean, I've seen like some, like, you know, rappers on rock tracks or vice versa, or like, you know, somebody comes out with some crazy guitar solo in the middle of middle of the like a hip hop beat. That's all been cool, but I haven't seen the two so intertwined by so many people at one time. I just think that's really cool because I grew up on like the alternative rock punk like type
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
So I
you have the
didn't
best
get
playlist for like early 2000s punk rock.
Yeah.
I
I went
love that's
outside.
like
I picked up
that's
the mail today. That shit.
but that's what I've grown up loving. I got a fucking Blink 182 tattoo on my
Right.
thigh. Like that's what I've always fucked with. And I didn't get really heavy into hip hop and rap till like end of high school, beginning of college. And then that's when I kind of started to fall off of the alternative type scene. And then now to see the two come together, it's having me go back a lot to like
Yeah.
early 2000s, 2010, 2011,
I feel
and
that.
listen to like bands and stuff again. And it's getting me like really motivated to go back out and just like do more shit. Cause it's like, this is the shit I grew up doing. This is the shit that's popping now. And now the two worlds are colliding. So like what excuse do I have
Well,
to
yeah,
not
tell me
just
about
be
that
like,
because
word, this is
you're
dope.
you're graduated now and you kind of want to start making your own music, right?
Yeah, so I'm trying. I'm in the process. I've been saving up because I don't do anything but work now that I don't
Smart.
attend college, unfortunately. But you know, I've kind of it's hit that point where it's like if you don't invest in yourself, you're not really gonna. You can only get so far with you know, especially now that I've left Oneonta, I don't have access to just like equipment that you know I don't own. I don't have
Right.
Do
you
you
know
have any
studio at
equipment
my
though?
disposal. Well, I'm in the process of I'm gonna set up a little home studio. So since
Word.
we're kind of like stuck at home all day anyway, and I
Work on
don't do
that,
anything
yeah.
but work, might as well get that little setup going, and then I could
How
try
much
to
does that
start
cost?
cranking
I
out
was gonna
some
say that
stuff.
shit's mad expensive, right?
So it's like it's possible to do. I'd say for probably if you already got a computer and shit, like
What kind
you
of
can
computer? You need a Mac
test
though?
it. You don't need a Mac. No. I know people that use. Some people prefer desktop. Some people just like Microsoft's interface because at the end of the day, you're kind of more running, you know, other software, not you know
Yeah.
anything that's already on your computer. So, you know, it's more just about how the computer can keep up with all the shit you download onto
Processing
it.
and
So,
everything.
so you know, like I have a MacBook Pro, so it's not really anything I'm
That's
worried
a
about.
great
Like
start.
I've done some stuff on it before. Like I've like done like little recordings on it and stuff. But I think it'll definitely be able to handle just setting up, you know,
I feel
Yeah.
like as someone
all
from like
the
not music industry, I feel like if you start putting out music, the only goal there is not like make it sound perfect, but make it not sound like janky. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And you know, I'm not trying to, you know, hop out and have everything sound perfect
Perfect,
at
right?
once, but I think that just like writing and getting, you know, what's in your head like out onto paper, I think that's just like a really constructive way to just like deal with a lot of shit. But it's also like I like at least I think what like I write and like can hear in my head and like fuck around and you know get into a computer. I think it sounds good. So and you know I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
like
No, that's
somewhat important shit to say. So it's, and you know that's at the end of the
bro.
day
Nothing's better
what
than
you
the
should be trying to do.
yeah. Nothing's
You know what I
better than
mean?
putting out what you do and then getting feedback from people that you actually value. You know, you
Right.
value
Yeah,
their opinions. So like
and it's you know
doing it and then showing and then getting that feedback is super super vital when you're trying to do anything. You
yeah,
know? Especially in
yeah,
music.
yeah, and especially because like obviously like right now it's not I'm not trying to do it for money or trying to do it for
Yeah.
you know fame or anything of the sort at this point. So
You're
it's
doing it
just
to
like
get better. You're doing it to do
it's
it and
just
get better.
doing it to practice, doing it just because I think it's just a really helpful tool. And I just think I think the reason music spreads so easily so nicely, um, like at least music with lyrics and whatnot. I think it's because it's it's just a message that not everyone can, not everyone can write it. Not everyone knows how to articulate what they're thinking. Not everyone knows just like the way that some messages should be delivered, but they know people want to hear it. Yeah, so it's just like,
dude, it's the universal language.
Cool
music is
thing that like
language.
If everyone can hear it, everyone can accept it, and everyone's like, oh, like this kid's saying something important, like let's listen up, because it's like
right,
like people idolize artists, they idolize celebrities, and it's because they're identifying with them. So the million people listening to a blah 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 song that week, that one person's speaking for those million people. So it's just like a cool feeling when you put out a song and get like a good response to it, like,
and then you live perform it. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
like
I wish I could perform live.
I've performed in front of like 1,000 people, 2,000 people at a time, but I've never performed like to Madison Square Garden type
like that must
stadium.
Be the craziest.
Like to hear every single one of those people in your stands like screaming your song to the top of it. Like I just imagine that's just like if like
that's gotta drive
you. Drug in and of itself.
No,
but like
I actually did I actually did an assignment earlier today, and it was to watch a few TED Talks, and one of my TED Talks was on shared like consciousness, and they said that the purest form of shared consciousness that you can find in like a raw setting is at a concert, an outside venue at a concert, so an outdoor venue. And they said that everybody, when you are at an outside venue, everyone that's inside of the venue, that's also on the stage, that's also on the lawn, are all sharing the same consciousness. So it's like the most pure form of energy that you could possibly emit. And I just thought that was super cool.
It's just not possible. Like if your ears are hearing that music, like it's impossible to like ignore it. Like you can think you're ignoring it, but like even subconsciously, you're still going to be hearing all those frequencies. You're still going to hear all that, like everything, all the instruments, the vocals, like everything's going to be blending together, and your brain's going to still take that in and process it. And that alone is just going to like connect different parts of your brain and make shit start popping off in there. And that's just happening to every single person within an earshot of that music. And it's just, it builds its community, and it keeps growing and snowballing until you get people that are, the Drakes and the Arianas and the this and the that. And you get all those types of just like people, like every single person, not every single person, but at least I would say like 2-3 billion people on the planet could like sing you a Drake song word for word. That's a wild fucking wild thing.
That's the thing.
Think about the Skechers song. I always think about the Skechers song. You know, they say, I like your Skechers. Bro, billions of people know that song. You could go to India and people would know that song. You go to China and people would know that song.
Think about like a song like Bohemian Rhapsody. Like there are people, like kids 8 years old, especially now that the movie and all that has come out in the past couple of years. There's kids like 7, 8 years old that can sing you Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm sure one of the 90 or 100-year-old or 110-year-olds that are still alive can recite you Bohemian Rhapsody. Like it's just a wild thing that like a group of people sat down and wrote something so well that it resonated with
that many
it's
people.
Not even
a complete generation.
It's like more. It's like I can't even fathom how many like generations to continue will know that song. Like it's just like that shit belongs in a fucking museum, dude. Actually, it probably is in the Library of Congress.
Well, we're talking about live performing. That's like the one thing that we've gotten sports back, we've gotten a few things back in 2020, but you can't get a live concert back in 2020.
Yeah,
And it sucks because there was a lot of
What's the
good
first
albums.
concert? What's
There's a lot of good albums this year.
the first. Okay, I've actually been thinking about this a lot because, well, technically right now I do have the Easy Cancun edition booked, so I'm hoping that doesn't get canceled in April.
We'll see.
And I'll get to see a couple DJs back in Cancun, same clubs I went to for spring break. So super excited if that does happen. But
thanks for the invite, by the way, Bob.
Okay,
No
listen,
worries.
I put it in
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to come except whatever. Not bad. Not bad. But realistically, I'm pissed about the Weekend's tour getting canceled. I want to see After Hours. I want to see that whole shit perform live. I need to see
Especially
Faith.
he's got that outfit that he wears everywhere.
That piano part, it's so fucking pretty. So pretty.
Do you think he would wear that red tux to every tour night? Because he's been wearing it literally everywhere.
Well, you got to think like,
dude, I don't think he's taken it off
toward
since
Igor.
How many do you think he has in his closet
the whole time? That man probably has one for
4.
like every day of the week,
every day of the month, and then a new month comes along and they just send it.
I think he's probably got like 30 of every color suit in his closet, or in his 7 closets, or however many closets he's got.
Probably my album of the year right now. Still, I know Mac. Some people say Mac Miller's
Dude,
album.
fuck, that was the one I was gonna say, you motherfucker.
I go back and forth between 1 and 2. For both of those albums as well.
Same, yeah.
But the hard part is I try to just objectively look and be like, if Mac did not die, rest in peace, would I still say it's number one?
No, you know,
because it's as good as it is when you know the history and you know what's happening. That's what makes that good, because it's like a really nice. It's written like as a goodbye note almost. Like
I listened to it, dude,
like a
knowing
goodbye note. So
that he didn't know I was.
It wasn't goodbye.
That's how I thought. I was like, he was not done with this. He does not know. He does not know that I'm listening to this right now. But
would you put it? I don't put it above.
I got it for album of the year.
Swimming.
No, Swimming was fucking amazing.
I think that shit was
that's what I'm saying. So if they came out the other way around and Circles came out first and Swimming came out this year,
Swimming was so
I would tell you Swimming was the album of the year.
It's also hard for me because
so that's why I think like, okay, maybe
it's the
not.
same with Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke too. Like, I don't know, when you pass away, as much as it makes me sad to listen to like that. I don't go to Mac's album.
I think Juice WRLD's album was. I still haven't listened to Circles like completely yet.
It's not the same.
I haven't listened to it from.
You should have seen. I put that on my drive home when I left Oneonta for like
horrible
the last
idea.
Time. Oh, I had to pull over. I was sobbing so hard I couldn't.
Horrible idea.
I swear to God. And it wasn't even like I was like halfway through and it was like, no, like
an hour
45 seconds
in. I was like, no, I need a minute.
Bro, I'll tell you, when I hear That's On Me, no matter where I am, what I'm doing, if I hear that, dude, my fucking shoulders relax. My tongue drops from the top of my mouth. Like, I hear it. That's on me. And I just vibe, bro. I always have that. It's beautiful.
It's just like a symbol, just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it fires off in your brain. Just kind of like, which is insane that sound can produce that kind of,
I mean, he had it down to a science.
Fire off.
He had a scheme for his albums as well. He wrote his albums in a scheme. It was supposed to portray.
His albums are. His growth as an artist, his discography is immaculate in my opinion. I don't think like just going era to era is fucking.
Dude, I listened to Blue Slide Park the other day. The complete version of it.
Yeah,
I listened to the song Blue Slide Park. It brought back so many memories, but also reminded me that he's been doing this shit. Right?
Yeah.
Bro, I listened to
7th grade being put on to Mac Miller and being like, oh shit.
I heard the voices because usually when it comes up on my phone, I skip it, right? I just skip it. I don't hear that the voices. So I started playing the album from the start, and I hear, yo, it's Blue Slide Park. And they build up a little bit, and then it goes, it's fucking Blue Slide Park, bro. And then it starts. I was like, right back in it. That was when I knew, like, that he's been in this shit.
And it's wild to listen to, like, you know, that kind of, like, just, like, stupid little fratty playground type rap.
Exactly.
Like, it's just him fucking around on the mic. And then you fast forward, you know, 6 years, and you write something like Perfect Circle, Godspeed. Like
2009,
or
he writes
2009. Like, there's just so
dude,
many,
that song makes me cry.
Lyrical
genius. That on the Tiny Desk concert.
I was just gonna say
his whole Tiny
Desk.
Dang
on the Tiny Desk concert with Dang. That's one of my favorite.
Yes,
yeah,
I love.
How about Anderson .Paak? I will say, I just gotta say, side note, Anderson .Paak on fucking any live performance is just fantastic.
Yes, I saw him live. I've seen him live.
I would see him live.
He is very talented, very, very cool. I said he could sneeze on a song and I'd listen to it. I love what he puts out.
To finish out,
it's cool. Yeah.
I want to hear if we all had the money right now and there was any concert going on. What concert would you guys bring? What concert would you bring me and Kev to? Kev, what concert would you bring me in? I want to hear.
I'll tell you mine from the rip. I know mine already, bro.
Let's hear it.
So from the rip, if I were to do any concert at any time, at any point in the world, right? Doesn't matter.
Any point. Oh.
Can I say, like, yo, if I take you guys?
I was thinking.
Then I know my answer.
Oh, you're thinking right now. Like,
I was thinking alive, but whatever you guys want to do.
All right, I'll give you the rundown on what I thought you were saying, and then I'll explain more. But I was gonna say I would totally bring both of you to a Pink Floyd concert, and we would.
That would go crazy.
Trip
the fuck out.
Yeah, an insane amount of psychedelics. We'd listen to the entire thing, barely figure out where we were. But listen, that's beside the point now. 2020. If I'm bringing anybody to a live concert, I really want to see Anderson .Paak. Now that you say that, it's fresh in my mind.
That's a good one.
I would say Young Nudie, bro. Young Nudie's been on my playlist for a minute, and that he's got bars from the start, and that's for sure. I just listened to Cap Dem, and Cap Dem is one of my favorite songs that I got on my playlist.
What about you, Ner?
Any of all time, we're going to Queen at Live Aid. There's no ifs.
I was gonna say all time.
That's like number one. Very close behind for my number one would be Nirvana for the MTV Unplugged in 93, 94, whenever that was. I would have paid good money for that.
Was legit.
Yeah. But now, just because I've seen pretty much everybody else I really want to see, it would definitely be The Weeknd. That's the tour I was like really gunning for. Dua Lipa's really up there for me too, because I haven't seen her live yet. So I would love to, especially with this.
We don't got much time left, but I'm gonna finish off.
What do you got?
Mine is take a damn cold shower. Every fucking morning.
Take a cold shower because it's good for you, nerd.
Take a fucking cold shower. It's good for your skin. And next time we have Noah on.
Don't wait until the end.
Next time we have Noah on, I'll tell you guys my favorite album or concert or whatever. But we got to get out of here. But as always, take a fucking cold shower.
Take a cold shower. Bro. It was a pleasure fucking having you. We had a great conversation.
There, we need you into the fist bump.
Hey.
There we go.
Hey, I'm wearing a ring.
We'll have Noah on again because we got to keep talking music.
Yeah. We had a good fucking. We might have to pick this up tomorrow night.
Literally.
Either way, cheers to the real world. We'll see you guys.
Good night, guys. Rah.
You can't throw a punch, then it don't feel right. 'Cause you can't cover it up anymore. You gotta play old so sharp, no. And you're coming out so tough, are you sure? You're